is my assigned topic, the Baroque art. So I'm going to discuss this one. So here are the expected learning outcome of my assigned topic, the Baroque art. First, the history of Baroque art from where it started, when it started, or how it started. And second is to understand the importance of Baroque art. And last but not the least is to determine the prominent artists of Baroque art and their medium. So art of Baroque period was started on the past 1600s to 1800s. The term Baroque was derived from the Portuguese word Barroco, which means regularly shaped pearl or stone. So Baroque art developed in Europe around the 1600s. Baroque art aims to give an effect that want to carry the viewers with the force of its impact. The Baroque style was carried by the Spanish and Portuguese to the Philippines. It influences the Intramuros, or the pre-colonial walled city of Manila, or one of the first old district of Manila, built by the Spaniards in around 1571. In the 16th to 17th century, the Baroque considered the art of Catholic Church and Counter-Reformation or Catholic Revival. The popularity of Baroque style was encouraged by the Catholic, which had decided the Council of Trent. So Council of Trent, it is a Catholic Church most important clinical meeting where the art should communicate religious times and direct emotional involvement in response to the Protestant Reformation. So here are the Baroque style. It characterized exaggerated motion, um, or exaggerated motion. It is the style that used to give clear detail to produce drama. Exuberance. It is a style used to give life and emotion of an artwork. Grandeur in sculpture. It is the style used in sculpture. It was detailed. The size is even and same figure. Painting, architecture, dance, and music. So those are the example of Baroque style. So in painting, Baroque style, they use chiaroscuro technique. The chiaroscuro technique painting is simply its scenes to produce a very high contrast, dramatic atmosphere. This art technique popular during Renaissance period, referring to the use of exaggerating light contrast in order to create an illusion. Let's proceed to the importance of Baroque art. So this is a highly ornate and elaborate style of architecture, art, and design that flourished in Europe in the 17th and the first half of the 18th century. A defining characteristic of the Baroque style was the way in which the visual painting, sculpture, and architecture were brought together into a complete whole to convey a single message or a meaning. So Baroque art and design addressed the viewer's senses directly, appealing to the emotions and as well as the intellect. It reflected the hierarchical and patriarchal society of the time, developing through and being used by those in power empower the church, absolute ruler, and aristocracy to persuade as well as impress, to both reach meaningful compared to the control and carefully balanced promotion associated the Renaissance with the Renaissance. So Baroque is known for its movement and drama. Baroque influences extended from Italy and France to the rest of Europe, and then traveled via European colonial initiatives, trade, and missionary to Africa, Asia, and South and Central America. Its global spread saw Chinese scarves working in Indonesia, French, French silversmith, and Italian hardstone specialist in France. The sculpture was sent from the Philippines to Mexico and Spain. Whilst London made chairs went all over Europe and across the Atlantic and French. Royal Workshop turned out luxury products that were both desired and imitated by fashionable society across Europe. However, a style, Baroque also changed as it crossed the world being adapted to new need and local taste, materials and context. Moving on to the prominent artists and their medium. Lamborghini da Caravaggio, 1517 to 1610. Michelangelo Merisi or Lamborghini da Caravaggio, or he was better known as Caravaggio. He was an Italian artist who wanted to deviate from the classical master of the Renaissance. So Caravaggio model at this period were either himself or young person who have air of being promising but wicked. So when I say hmm, when I say young person who have air being promising but wicked, it is a good person who has good future but have bad doings. So one of the famous painting is the conversion of Saint Paul. Next is Gian Lorenzo Bernini, 1598 to 1680. Bernini was an Italian artist and the first Baroque artist. He practiced architecture, sculpture, painting, stage design, and was also a playwright. So he was the greatest Baroque sculptor and architect as sees in his design of Piazza San Pietro on front of the Basilica. It is one of his most innovative and successful architecture design. So one of the famous Baroque artwork is the Ecstasy of Saint Teresa, was his greatest achievement. Other is Peter Paul Rubens in 1577 16 to 1640. So Rubens is a Flemish Baroque painter. He was well known for his painting of mythical and figurative and Hans scene. One of his famous Baroque artwork is The Rape of Daughter Eusebius. Okay, moving on to the Rococo art. So, what is Rococo? Rococo is a style of art developed in France in the early 1800s. The name Rococo comes from the word rocaille, a French word meaning shell or pebble word. So Baroque art was all about serious and realistic theme. Some young elements. Yeah. Rococo painting was opposite, with joyful theme, fluff, and nature. So, the rocaille. The rocaille was used in the decoration. Cartouches with a symmetrical and detailed card was another feature of Rococo decorations. For one of the finest example of Rococo architecture is located in Würzburg, Bavaria. It was designed by the German architect Johann Balthasar Neumann in 1720. So some of the biggest European power of the 18th century did adopt the Rococo style for their royal residence like Scanburn Palace and Cozy Palace, Catherine Palace. So here are some artists of Rococo. Jean-Antoine Watteau. So Watteau can be considered as the father of Rococo style painting. He inspired many other painters with his Fit Galante genre work. So Fit Galante genre work, this kind of genre characterized by its lightness, elegance, and playful theme. So Jean-Francois Detroit was a director of the French Academy in Rome from 1738. He lived with a luxurious lifestyle himself and his clients were the bourgeois class. say Burgos, it is the middle class family. And he invent the table docks, the mode, or the painting of fashion. Other is Jean Honor Fragonard. His painting, The Swing, is one of the most famous work of the Rococo era. Because of French Revolution, Fragonard lost his private patrons. So other is Francisco Gardi, Italian painter, was one of the last practitioners of the Venetian school. He was born in the noble family of Venice. He worked in the Spanish royal court under King Carlos III, and he also worked as an illustrator for the famous Miguel Cervantes. So as you can see, the artist of this this era, the Rococo art is live a luxurious life. So that's why Rococo is one of the most expensive style in history. So moving on to the Rococo architecture, it gained popularity in France and later spread to Bavaria, Poland, Russia, and other countries. Rococo buildings were usually small in size, and in terms of color, they use pastel tones for Rococo building. So, although it is small in size, but they did not have hanging the design, move, moving to its interior design. So in terms of interior, it was not only about fancy look, but also about comfort of bourgeois and bourgeois or a middle class family too. So they made the furniture to be truly comfortable. Porcelain, tableware, candelabra, clocks, and other items were used as kind of final touch the interior design. So moving on to the next topic, the Romanticism. So when we hear the word Romanticism, so maybe the first thing that comes out to our mind is about love, relationship, or many more involving love. So we'll hear in Romanticism in art, it's not all about love, but a reaction to enlightenment, industrial revolution, progress, and urbanization, or in simple term, it was the reaction to the creation. So to understand more, let's discuss what Romanticism really is. So, Romanticism is an artistic movement in Europe and the US in the 1800s that prized feeling over intellectual thought. So when we say prize feeling over intellectual thought, in Tagalog, mas pinahahalagahan yung damdamin kaysa pag-iisip. So as I mentioned earlier, the Romanticism is a reaction to Enlightenment, progress, and urbanization. So Romanticism also, it is how we deal with or describe idealized or unrealistic fashion or to make something seem better or more appealing than it really is. So the Age of Enlightenment, an artistic movement in Europe and the US in the late 1700s that prized science, reason, and classical tradition. So let's look quickly the value of Romanticism. So first of all, the Romanticism value of nature or romantic with the romantic year or the romantic year, we rather look at the waterfall than a dirty and polluted city. So that is one of the example of Romanticism. Another is childhood, an age of innocence. So today we think about children needing to enjoy being children. We think that kids should be kids. The romantic movement here is that before we people thought of children as just a little adult that should grow as much as possible. But the romantic view here is that childhood is an age of innocence that they need to enjoy before they encounter problems of adult. so so here's the enlightenment. So for example here, this is the comparative of enlightenment and romanticism. So in enlightenment, it's all about intellect, but in romanticism, it's not about intellect but emotion. So Enlightenment emphasizes human nature, or man is trying to understand nature, or man over nature. But here in Romanticism, nature over man. Then other is Enlightenment is forward looking, but the Romanticism is backward looking. Society. Instead of society, we have individualism. So industry. Instead of industry, we have nature. So that's how Romanticism work. So I have a picture here, and I want to know how would you romanticize, or should I say where is the romantic view in this picture. So first is the Nightmare by Henry Fazeli. So as we can see at the painting, it is a very creepy, but if we focus on the painting, the romantic movement there is that it is although it is creepy, when we focus on the painting, the romantic movement there is there is a supernatural, there is an emotion, and although there is a beauty. So another painting is The Wonder Above the Sea of Fog by Caspar David Friedrich. So as we can see in the painting, the romantic there is he is a Byronic hero. So when we say Byronic hero, it is a kind of or type of hero that's striving to do right, and other is beauty. So we can see the beauty of nature, and other is sublime. So when we say sublime, it is, kung sa Tagalog pa, grabe ka ko, ay kung sa Tagalog pa kay napakaganda. So that's it.